All right, people. All right, I think we are live. Hey, welcome to me doing Facebook Live. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been, you know, talking about some different stuff, but I hope that you and your families are well. And today, I just want to talk about a few different things. I've had some different conversations over the past, let's say, 3 weeks with different people in the real estate industry. And I'm going to share about a couple of those conversations and also share about a book that I've been reading, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. But um, I personally have gone through some different emotions, and some realtors that I've been talking to have been going through different emotions. And really, that emotion, the primary one is discouragement. Uh, Sometimes, you're working hard and you don't see the progress that you want, or if you're in the real estate industry, you're getting different referrals and you're talking to people. Some people stay, some people go. Some of your expectations just aren't met. You're wondering what's going on here, what's going wrong. Is it me? Sometimes we get in a funk, you know. And definitely shout out to the Brian Buffini podcast. I listen to that regularly. And some months ago, he talked about how to get out of a funk, and there are times that we all get in the funk, whether business is booming, whether things are great. You got to remember something. A lot of what we see online, a lot of what we read online, a lot of those things, in my opinion at least, are just a lot of the snapshots of what's going on, which is really indicative of what social media is. Essentially, it's a snapshot of a point in time. It doesn't really show you, not even close to what the entire picture is of whatever is going on. And, I wanted to talk about really one word, and that's the word encouragement, which is the opposite and the antithesis of discouragement. If you are in real estate, whether you're brand new, if you've been around for a while, if you are a mortgage lender, if you're a mortgage broker like I am, and if you've been feeling a bit discouraged, let me just tell you, from personal experience, if you push through, if you make a decision to push through and not let the emotions of the moment um, just really hold you down and keep you there, I can promise you, you will see better times for sure on the other side. You will. A lot of times when we experience emotion, that emotion can be so heavy and so clouding that we cannot see through. We can't see through what we are currently experiencing. And as a business owner, I have very high expectations of myself. I have high expectations of my staff. I have high expectations, period, because I want myself and I want us as a team to be our absolute best for our clients, first and foremost, because they deserve it. And then number two, for ourselves, so that we can, grow professionally, grow in our character, grow personally. And again, just sometimes, for whatever reason, something doesn't go your way, there's some type of an issue or problem, it can really cause us to be discouraged. But again, if you're in the real estate field, no matter what you may hear on the radio about how many buyers this real estate agency has, or how many this or that and the other, let me tell you, you do you. You focus on the things that you need to. You stay laser beam focused on your career, your success, your growth, your depth, because the truth be told, comparison is a killer. When you start comparing yourself to other people, you start comparing yourself to others' success or their supposed success. Then you look at yourself in the mirror, you look at what you've done or what you haven't done, and then you're just like, what am I doing? I'll be honest. I'll be gut level honest. Like, a lot of times I'll look at my either views of some of my videos that I've done, or, my, people listening to the podcast sometimes. And I'm like, man, it's just not what I want it to be. And I can allow that to discourage me. But at the same time, we have to have a stick to itness, right? Where we just keep going. We just keep going. We just keep going. So there's a motivational speaker out there named Eric Thomas, and you guys know him, the hip hop preacher. He has a picture of just kind of envision like a man kind of chipping away and digging in a cave with a pickaxe. And it shows him like with this long trail that he's been making, and just a few feet away is like the pile of gold, but he doesn't know it, you know, and it shows him as being tired and worn out. So I think that's really a great you know comparison or a great illustration for us, for me, for you, because sometimes that success, that client, that pot of gold, that progress, it can literally be just minutes away. It can literally be just a day away or a week away or a month away, but we have to persevere and we have to stay in there in order to realize that, and not give up and not turn away what we've, even though we've worked so hard for things. And it also makes me think of a book. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It's called The EMyth Revisited. It's an older book, but let me tell you, this is like a pot of gold, man. For sure. It's by Michael Gerber. I might have talked about it a little bit before. I did talk about the Business Made Simple book before, but this book really just, it hits a lot of different areas, and it really talks mainly about, for those of us who might have been working a 9 to 5 or some type of a job, but you're doing something on the side, but you're really good at it, and you're like, you know what, I can really start my own business doing whatever this hobby is, or whatever your side gig was, and you decide to kind of go off and do it on your own. Like, you have what's called the entrepreneurial seizure, because you really feel like you can get out there and you can make it. And it kind of goes through the different stages of what that new entrepreneur feels like, what he or she experiences. And let me tell you, he hits it right on the button. And the reason why I'm even sharing this, because there is a point where it gets difficult. It gets extremely difficult. And then you wonder, why am I even doing this? Do I need to just go back to the security and the comfort of the chair, the cubicle, the 9 to 5, getting my pay that I know is coming every 2 weeks, my benefits, right? Versus, working these long hours, all of this uncertainty, all of this anxiety, all of this stress. Is it really worth it? And the book really causes you to ask yourself some critical questions, so that you can be sure that what you are doing is something that you're actually going to stay with and be dedicated to see it through to the very end. And here at Visionary Lending, that's my heart, that's my commitment, that's my dedication as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, to see it as far as it can possibly go. Because as a result, what that does is the direct result is helping as many people as possible who can be helped, helping as many people who can possibly get a mortgage, get their life changed, get their finances improved, get their credit improved, get educated, have someone as an advocate, have someone who's going to hold their hand, have someone who actually cares at the end of the day. And we care at Visionary Lending. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, born and raised in the city. Okay. So I understand a lot of the struggle that has been, is, and will continue to be taking place in places like Baltimore City and urban areas. And, I have a deep conviction to help as many as possible. It doesn't matter if it's Baltimore or it could be anywhere, but people deserve to own a home if they want. They deserve to be financially educated, financially opened and empowered, financially pushed, so that they can be their absolute best, because so many people don't even realize what is actually available to them. And I think that's one of the biggest miscarriages of justice, to be very honest with you, that so many people don't realize what they can actually do. And I'm not talking about entitlements and, I'm entitled to this and I'm entitled. No, I'm talking about things that you can earn, things that can be yours, that exist, various products, various mortgage products, or things that you can invest in, whether it's an insurance or whether it's a security or something just really small where you don't have to put a lot in, but it can change your entire perspective for right now and future generations. So we don't want to have so much of a narrow focus, but a wider focus, so that, again, we can attract and help as many as possible. But again, bringing it back, if you are a realtor, if you're in the real estate field or in the mortgage field, we've coming kind of out of COVID, and rates have been pretty good and they've been pretty decent, and that's great. But my encouragement to you and my challenge to you directly is, remember, just don't have that transactional mindset. Okay, that transactional mindset is finite. Okay, remember, we got to play the infinite game, as is made famous by Simon Sinek. The more that we can think infinitely, how can we keep this thing going? How can we make our business perpetual? How can we make our income to be predictable? How can we make the experience to be predictable? Don't be taking my lines, but how can we do these things over and over and over and over again? Right? And that's a large part of what Michael Gerber talks about in the EMyth Revisited. It's like, how can you create a predictable business? Let me tell you something. Predictability is a good thing when it comes to business. Make no mistake about it. You don't want anything unpredictable. You want it all to be predictable, because now you can weave and you can shape and you can mold what that predictable experience is going to be for your clients over and over and over again, which is why so many thousands of businesses in this country are so successful, right? It's because you know exactly what you're going to get. You know exactly what you're going to get, you're going to pay for. You know exactly what experience you're going to have. So, and that's what you want, right? So I hope this has been, fairly helpful with you. I'm just being open. I'm just being honest with you. Please reach out to us if there's any questions, anything that we can discuss, whether it be on our podcast, whether it be here on Facebook Live, any particular questions, concerns, anything. It's all about connection. We want to reach out and touch. We want to reach out and connect and help you and be with you, whether you, again, are on our side of the table, whether, we're real estate professionals, or where you are a prospective client. We're definitely here as an advocate, as a friend, to help. So thank you guys. Love you. Be safe out there. Look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Take care.